Today we're going to be talking about Princess at the Golden Globes, something really important that you should look into before you book a cruise, as well as lots of other updates and some really exciting travel options that have just come up. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Friday, February 13th of 2023. It's Friday the 13th, and this evening we are planning to do our live. We missed Monday, and so we're hoping to make up for it this evening. And so if you have a minute, join us. We're planning to start at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 5, of course, p.m. Pacific Time. So we'll look forward to having you with us. Just bring any questions you've got. We just like to talk about cruising, and we always have a fun time together. So we'll look forward to seeing you. Now, in addition to that, the other thing that I need to tell you really quickly are two things. First of all, yesterday I was so excited in telling you about our group cruises that I neglected to make it perfectly clear that these cruises are both in 2024. I think I accidentally said 2023 one time, so they are both in 2024. The British Isles cruise that goes on June 8th of 2024 is round trip out of Southampton. It's on Princess Cruise Lines on the Regal Princess. I am really excited. It's 12 days long. It is an excellent itinerary, a really, really good itinerary for that part of the world. And I wanted to tell you, I actually have looked around at different cruise lines at their British Isles itinerary, and I like Princess's the best. That's how we landed on that, and you know I really like Princess, so it was fine. The other cruise that we have got booked is on October 1st of 2024 on Celebrity. It'll be on the Celebrity Silhouette, and she goes to Israel and Egypt, and then on the way back to Athens, it's round trip out of Athens. We also stop in Ephesus, Turkey, so the cruise port there, Kusadasi, to go to Ephesus. So I am very, very excited about both cruises. They're splendid. They're both going to be glorious in different ways. You know, it's that thing, you think one place is your favorite and that you thoroughly love that, and then you go to the other place and it turns out it's your favorite as well. And so I am really excited about both of them and really look forward to it. So if you've got any questions or think you might like to join us or would like information, just send me an email, and both of my email addresses are underneath this video. So I'll look forward to hearing from you if you would like. The other thing is I have not done a good job on keeping up this trivia thing, you guys. You were all so gracious the other day to comment. I asked what was the year that Princess first sailed, and it's 1965. And one of you, Ronald, was so kind to point out that it was on the Patricia, and she had actually been leased. She didn't even belong to Princess at the time. And away they went down the Mexican Riviera. We have a Let's Go family member who was lucky enough to get to be on the Pacific Princess sailing in December of 2015 to celebrate the 50 years of Princess sailing, and got to go on the Mexican Riviera itinerary for 2 weeks, just like they did back in the very beginning with Princess. So thank you for sharing, and thank you to Ronald. He is the one that said about the Patricia and how she was leased. So anyway, thank you all. So I thought, just for fun, and we'll just see how this goes a little longer. So what was the year that Princess first sailed to Alaska? So, and I'm going to remember to tell you the answer tomorrow, okay? Thought that would be kind of fun. Now, and we're going to talk about Alaska some more too, so that kind of segues into what we've got to talk about tomorrow, because I have some updates for you. Now, I don't know how many of you follow Princess on social media at all, but on Tuesday is when the Golden Globes were. And on that morning, I saw an ad on Instagram, just in my feed, from Princess, and the caption underneath it said, "Even the most outdoorsy types like a little love. Tune in the 80th Golden Globes ceremony tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock for the premiere of something exciting and new." So if you are familiar with the Love Boat song, Exciting and New it's in that song for the old Love Boat TV show, which would be the only Love Boat TV show that those of us who are this old remember. But anyway, but the thing that really interested me is a couple of things about this. Now, first of all, I did not have a chance to catch the Golden Globes. So any of you who watched it, did you see anything about Princess at all? I'm thinking they must have had a commercial. They had, in this post, they had a little blurb of a commercial like with a tent, and it's all blustery and raining, and then they opened the door, and I think somebody said, would you like a little love, something like that, and then they just show a cruise ship in the distance. And so a couple of things, I want to know what you think. So do you think that they are kind of changing their marketing tack once again? Because remember for a little while it was like the Real Love Boat TV show. But the thing that really interested me is that with this, the hashtags that went along with this are Princess Cruises, Come Feel the Love, I Love This Boat, and Love Princess. Like the Real Love Boat hashtag is gone, Love Boat hashtag is gone, the Love Boat, there no reference to the Love Boat anymore. It is done. The closest thing is I Love This Boat, which is not the Love Boat. And so I am wondering, do you think that they are trying to now leave that behind them? They spent all of that money trying to make that TV show work out, and now we're not referencing it. Do you think somebody just forgot? With this whole outdoorsy approach, I don't know if they're trying to attract a different demographic. We've known for quite a while they're trying to attract like a younger demographic, and you see that in what their ads are and everything, and truly you see that on other cruise lines as well, as several of you have pointed out before. But just wondering what you're thinking, if this is like a new approach, a new way to get more people to sail with Princess. Let me know what you think. Now, this I think is really, really important, and I am so grateful to our Let's Go family member who pointed this out. She sent me a really nice email, and she said, have you ever thought about Easter week while you're in Europe? They are going to be on the Oceania Riviera during Easter week, which this year, Easter is on April 9th, and Easter week is always Palm Sunday to Easter Sunday. That's Easter week. And she said that they are going to be in Malaga on Monday, the 3rd of April, and their tour guide just told them that there are not going to be any tours that day, and possibly for the whole week, because a bunch of the regions that really celebrate Easter are expecting like at least 1 million visitors to come and visit as part of their celebrations. And so roads are going to be closed. Some of the attractions that they hope to see are going to be closed. It's really going to change the visitor experience. If you were just going on a cruise somewhere and thought you were going to go visit all of these places, you might not be able to. And so so first of all, there's two sides to that. First of all, if you are going to go on a cruise somewhere, just double check the dates that you're going to go and make sure nothing big that you don't know about is going to happen while you're there, so that you're able to visit the places you think you're going to visit. Alrighty? Now, and that can vary all over the place. Like with our Israel cruise that we are doing, I actually looked at the dates that we are going to be in Jerusalem and in Israel there, because I know that that the Sabbath for the Jewish people starts just before sundown on Friday and ends just after sundown on Saturday. And so I didn't want to choose dates to be there that we wouldn't be able to see anything. But I've looked at, I've done a lot of research, and there are still, there are a lot of people there that still give tours, and the places that we want to see, we should still be able to see without any problem. And then also, fortunately, we've got 2 days before that in Israel as well, to try to visit places that would be impacted by being closed for the Jewish Sabbath there. So I think we are going, but I did check into that. And so make sure that where you're going, you plan. Now, at the same time, I also think that there is something lovely about being somewhere when some of these celebrations are taking place, or these, like the Sabbath in Israel. I'm excited that I'll get to glimpse that there. At the same time, when we went to France a few years ago, and we rented a car for part of the time that we were there, and we were driving around, one of the days was May 1st, which is a holiday there in France. It's kind of like our Labor Day, so most places are closed. Really, most places are closed. Not very many places are open at all. We found like a little grocery store open, but it was run and owned by people who were not even French. They're not even from Europe. And so clearly they live there and have their nice little store. So we got some yummy food to eat there, but everywhere else pretty much was closed. And so, but we had a lovely time getting to see everything. We still were able to drive everywhere, see everywhere that was on our list that day. We had a glorious day in Normandy, but at the same time, we had to like rearrange a little bit and go back and see something we were going to see the next day, or scooch a few things in the previous day. And then when we got to the hotel that evening, the gentleman that owned the hotel that we were staying at, there behind the desk, he gave my daughter and I each a little bunch of lilies of the valley, because those are part of that celebration. And I just, it was so special to be there. I still have those lilies of the valley. I pressed them in a book that I bought while I was on that trip, and it was just lovely to be there. And so embrace what you've got and enjoy the time where you are, but do keep an eye out. If there are certain things you want to do, make sure that you're going to be able to do them while you're there. Alrighty, now I've had a few more questions from people wondering about the itineraries for the Sun Princess. So the Sun Princess is going to start sailing as scheduled presently. February 8th of 2024 is going to be her first sailing, and then that whole summer and into the fall season is going to be there in the Mediterranean. At the end of September, she is scheduled to come over to Fort Lauderdale. The cruises for Fort Lauderdale and what's after that have not been released yet. And so the latest that I have heard is hopefully by the end of February we'll have those. So I'll try to keep my eye open for you, but just a heads up, it sounds like hopefully a lot of cruises will be released mid to late February. Now, you know that I always like to talk to you not only about cruising and the cruise experience and what to be aware of when you go, but I also like to tell you some of the glorious options that are coming online out there. And one of them is that the Orient Express has ordered 2 cruise ships from the shipyard in France. And I wanted to tell you about it because of the approach that they are taking to sailing. And this is going to go on our bucket list. I don't know that we're going to ever get the chance to do this, but it's fun to dream. And so I wanted to tell you about it. And I think part of it for me is you look at these lines and you wonder what differentiates these different smaller cruise lines that have like the smaller ships and the itineraries that go with it. And some of them, I think probably your experience on board is maybe reasonably similar, but some of them I think are going to be very, very extraordinary and very, very unique. And one thing that I love about they were talking about when Orient Express was talking about ordering these cruise ships is they say that they are planning to do this and they want it to be reminiscent of the golden age of mythical cruises. And then they go on to talk about how they are inspired by and want it to be similar to the golden age of the French Riviera. And they talk about how the Orient Express Silencias, if I'm saying that right, will echo the glorious era when writers and painters and artists and princesses and movie stars spent time between Monte Carlo and the beaches of Saint-Tropez and just all of these glorious places, and had, it says, all of these extreme escapades. So it sounds like they are really going to develop a cruise experience to really to be very, very unique and to be rather splendid. And so if any of you are interested in that, put it in the comments and we'll all dream together. It is a smaller ship and those sailings are not available yet to buy, but I'll keep my eye out for when they go on sale, and it'll just be fun to hear how much they are and where they're going to be sailing. Now, along with that opportunity, I get a lot of questions from people about what would be a good cruise to go on if you want to see a lot, but you're kind of tired of going to the Caribbean, but you don't really want to fly a long distance. And so one option that I wanted to tell you about is, Viking is doing a lot of cruises up in the Great Lakes here of the United States. And some of them, like one that I noticed, is 8 days. It goes from Toronto over to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And Toronto, I know, is out of the United States, but it's not a long flight. And so I just wanted to let you know that there are lots of these options. Apparently, from everything that I have read, cruising and tourism up there in the Great Lakes has really exploded. It's really coming into a thing of its own, but it is so beautiful up there on the Great Lakes. If you have not been there, it is worth going. And if you didn't know this, like when you are like in Chicago looking over Lake Michigan, or you're up in Minnesota looking out across Lake Superior, like you can't see the other side. They're huge if you didn't know that. And it's just back, that to me goes back to another day as well. I haven't been to Lake Superior since I was a child, but I remember even then sensing that it was such a historically like grounded place. Like so much has happened in these areas, and the scenery is so beautiful that I think it is just really worth a visit. And then along with that, okay, you guys, Viking is announcing their first ever world cruise. It's going to sail for 180 days. It's going to leave Fort Lauderdale on December 19th of 2024 and not get into New York City until June 17th of 2025. And they are saying that they hope that this is going to help travelers get back in touch with their sense of exploration and their sense of adventure. And they're going to go to 5 different continents, like 37 countries, 85 ports, and they're going to have overnights in 13, as they call them, iconic cities. And so what a lovely opportunity. If you are retired and you have the means to do it, this is a really nice opportunity. I think that to do that on any cruise line would be wonderful, but to do it on Viking, I think would be even more so, because they're smaller ships and such an attention. Yeah, you're going to be very well taken care of, and it's going to be lovely. And then if you don't, though, have 180 days that you can be gone, they are offering some shorter voyages that still go to so many different ports and lots of countries. They have like an you can do 163 days if you want. If you don't want to do the whole 180, you can shorten it by 17 days and do a shorter one. But they've also got like a 138-day voyage that's going to go from Fort Lauderdale to London, a 121-day voyage that's a couple of months shorter, that was going to take you from Los Angeles to London, and you still get to go to 23 countries. So there are a lot of options out there, and I think it's really important not only to plan your life so that the days don't come, well, the days are going to come, but so the days don't come and you don't have anything planned, that you don't get to do anything. But I think it is so important to know what the options are, because how can you choose when you don't even know what all of the options are? I think that that is a really important aspect of being well-traveled and enjoying everything that we can possibly enjoy in a very responsible way. So I appreciate you all sticking with me through this. I would love to hear if there is anything in particular that you think that it would be helpful for me to tell you all about. Please give me suggestions, put them in the comments, send me an email. I always love to hear from all of you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. We need you in our Let's Go family. We've been waiting for you, so come and join us. And if you appreciate these updates, please give this video a thumbs up. And I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.